Hey everybody, how's it going? Just a saw marathon this weekend, let me tell you. Uh, just having fun in the shop. You guys know how it goes. Got the Homelite cylinder, porting's done. Some go fast moves to the transfers. We still have a bridge. We're not going to take that out again, are we? Actually, we might. I've been thinking about it. I have ideas. And the only way to fix things is to do them again and again, or blow saws up. Still on the fence about that. I'm not going to take that bridge out anytime soon. I'm just joking around. We're doing the Homelite. I was hoping to have it done, but when your best buddy needs a saw looked at, you fix it, right? That 440, we couldn't do anything with that today. Just going to throw this in the garbage. It's actually his neighbor's saw or something. I offered to help out. I know the guy that built that saw, and nothing he did wrong. Just thought I'd do a solid and have a look at it. So we are taking the pointer off for the timing wheel. We're not going to be needing that anymore. And let's get this thing prepped and ready to go. Just going to put all this stuff down in here. And move some tools out of the way. I like to assemble on paper towels. Just keep it nice and clean. Okay, we'll put our bottom end on here. Put our bottom end on here. We got to take off the timing wheel. I just put a pair of pliers on it. I don't give me a second here. You can't fit the key. Remember, it's just a drill chuck. Just want to show you guys this while we're getting stuff done here. Here's my timing wheel attachment. It's a 3/8 drill chuck with some washers. I got this anti-vibe washer on there. It grabs the timing wheel nice. There you go. Just tighten it onto the end of the crankshaft. That's how I do it. I don't know. It's kind of a redneck way to do it, but she works, don't she? So, okay. Let's start assembling this saw. I'm going to pause you guys here and get this rocking and rolling. Give me a second. Okay, I got things more or less lined up here. And just kind of laying it out, doing what I need to do. Not in a hurry. I think we all got to learn to slow down and not be in a hurry. So I'm going to get done what I can get done today. And go from there. Just going to aim you guys down here. Okay. Now it's a little loose. Here, I just got to tighten the mount here. There we go. That'll work. There you guys go. A little brake clean. I've prepped all the surfaces, mating surfaces. I've washed the cylinder, what, 3 times now. I dumped gas in the bottom end and swirled it out, make sure there's nothing in there. This saw was pretty dirty inside, so I'm just dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's, if you guys know what I mean. We want to rule out when we build a saw, we want to rule out anything that we did causing a failure. That's key. And then we go from there, right? So we got the cylinder prepped. Just going to scrub it down good here. I spent hours this morning, guys, prepping surfaces and just preparing. Then my buddy came over. We made that last video. That's my wingman. He's going to help us out with some parts on this build. So, again, just cleaning this out. You want to stick your rag in there. You want to stick your rag in there and wipe it down. Okay, look how clean that came out. Nothing. That's how I like to assemble a motor. I like it clean as humanly possible. I think that's the only way to guarantee success or to rule out any problems. Okay, got our piston ring here. Notice how clean the piston is now. I'll just tap you on here. I cleaned all the crap out of the ring grooves. Just again, we want success. So, okay. So we need to put the wrist pin in. Same thing, wrist pin's been cleaned, inspected, and I'm pretty excited to do this, guys. You guys are enjoying this, and you know what? I'm enjoying it. So it's a win-win-win for everybody. We got to get our assembly silicone. Moto Seal from Permatex is what I use. People have asked me that. I'm going to put a few tools away. I'd like to get this top end mounted and installed. Just checking these rings, and we'll go from there. So, got to put the rings on. Let's put a ring on here. Snap it in. There you go. Okay, there we go. Got this ready to go. I'm going to quickly wash my hands again. I'm just going to pause you guys. Hey everyone, it's time. Let's start assembling this 130 Super that we ported. This has been a lot of fun. I'm enjoying these builds. More labor intensive than a modern saw, but I get something out of it. I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, but it suits my personality. I like old-timey things. These are old-timey things. So cylinder porting's complete. Did some work to the transfers, and not the prettiest cylinder I've ever ground on, but we're going to give this thing a go. Piston has been cleaned up. Ring grooves are clean. Wrist pin, circlip. These clips are really, really hard to get out of these Homelites. And I just noticed something here. There's a little bit of schmutz. I'm just going to blow this off with some brake clean. What else did I do today? So I prepped both mating surfaces on the cylinder and the crankcase. I spent a lot of time washing parts. I rinsed the bottom end out with fuel oil mix, and just to make sure nothing got in there over the build. I don't grind anywhere by the bottom end, so I think we did the best that we could. A little water here. What else do we need? We need some mix oil. Just gonna grab my mix oil, guys. Okay, I'm gonna do like I always do. I'm gonna point you guys down so you guys can see. I'm gonna dump a little mix oil into the bottom end, because she's dry. Okay, a little bit there on the rod, and see if we can get a little down in there in the bearings. Pretty tight. This thing's pretty tight in the bottom end, so there we go. Okay, there we go. Get that nice and lubricated. I usually just fill the cap. This is Opti 2. I've mentioned it before. I like this oil. I've been using it for quite a while now. It's clean. It burns clean, and it seems to penetrate surfaces. So use whatever oil you like. Okay, this bottom end's really nice in this one. We got no problems. I'm happy. We gotta wipe this down. We got a little bit of oil on the mating surface, a little brake clean. Gotta prep these surfaces good and make sure that our silicone will seal. I spent quite a bit of time this morning working on this deck, or cylinder base here. It was really, really, really nasty. So old saws, guys, it definitely takes longer. Okay. Let's take a little mix oil. I'm going to put it in the ring groove right here. Make sure that there's lubrication when we fire this up. There we go. Just put a little mix oil in there, and I just spin it around on the rings. Okay. And wipe it off. Don't want it to be too oily. When I'm ready to install this, I'll put a little bit of mix oil. I'll rub it into the piston. I'm going to put a little oil on the wrist pin bearing. Okay, and this slides through here. There's a lot of crap in here. Again, this morning, I spent my morning decarbonizing everything. This saw is going to be like brand new inside. You know, this saw is probably 40 years old, and maybe it'll last another 40 years this time. We can only hope. Push that in there. Just going to pause you guys here. I'll be right back. Okay, I had to grab the right circlip. Just gotta, there we go. Get her into the groove. Oh, we actually got her past the groove. There we go. I like to spin these after to make sure they don't come out of the groove. Super important. Oh, now we got mix oil running out of the bottom end. Oh, super important when you're building these is any saw, make sure that wrist pin, the circlip, is in the little groove. If that comes out when you fire the saw up, that'll have dire consequences. That'll usually be the end of the top end. So if you're lucky, it could get caught in the bottom end too. Okay, we got this thing all back together. We're good. And let's rock and roll. Okay, put this up. I'm just re-wiping down all the parts. Cylinder's nice and clean in this one. We did the similar transfer work to the last saw. I think I detailed that pretty good in the last video. Just did all the flow tricks to them, make them the right shape, taper them a little bit. The things that we do. I've put the piston on, wrist pin, circlip, and I'm getting ready to install the top end. Again, you guys want to clean all these mating surfaces down right here, all the way around. Clean the cylinder. Okay, I got my my gasket maker, and let's get down to business. There, we've handled our business. What's everybody up to out there? What are you guys building? What are you guys working on? The Tinman must know, right? I want to know what you guys are working on. Leave a comment down below. What are you guys working on? It's not always just about me, right? I mean, you guys work on saws too. I've seen you talking about it in the comments. What are you guys working on? Post in the comments below. I'm just curious. I'm working on Homelites. We got Homelites. Well, what are you guys playing with? Let me know. Okay, back to business. Okay, I'm gonna use my assembly silicone on the cylinder base. Nice thin coating. I like these. It's actually super easy to get silicone on here. If you got big fingers like I do, some saws can be a little tricky. These ones aren't too bad though, so just a nice thin coating all the way around, go around all the bolt holes. You guys have seen me do this before. You can't see me on camera there we go. Let's do a nice thin coating, especially on the sides, because there's not a lot of real estate there on the bottom side. So just wipe it nice and smooth. Okay, and you see that thin coating. Okay, now we'll do the base. Remember, base gasket delete on this. That corrects our squish. Squish is like 20 thousandths on this saw, somewhere right around in there. Not too tight. That's about perfect. I like to see anywhere around 20 to 25 thousandths in my saws. If you're anywhere around there, I'm good. I don't fuss about squish too much. That's just me. I always say that's just how I do things. Okay. It's really hard to get silicone on the back side. So what I do, I'll wipe a screwdriver off, and I take it right here, and I put a little on the end, and I'll just rub it in there all the way around. I want a continuous layer. Same with this side. I guess I could take the gas tank off the bottom end, but I try to, in these old saws, I try to take apart as little as possible. That way you're not making gaskets. We still might have a few gaskets we need to make, so we'll play that by ear. Okay, put that back to the other side. Right here on the side of the cylinders, there's not a lot of real estate, so I gotta make sure I get it in there good. Because we really don't want an air leak, do we? Okay, we're making things happen here. This one's been a lot of fun, actually. These have all been fun. Even the one that blew up, guys, was fun. I learned things. You guys were involved. Some of you gave me some good ideas, and you know, that's what this is about for me. This is therapeutic fun. Some people play golf. Some guys make chainsaws boogaloo. I'm of the latter category. Okay. See, as clean as you make it, one little chip of paint. Okay. Let's, right here, guys, okay, a little bit of oil. Smear that around in there, front and back. Okay, rub a little onto the piston. Same thing, front and back. Okay, get that piston nice and lubed up. Remember, we have deburred, de-chamfered, everything in here. We've gone around it 5 or 6 times. Now, let's see. There you go. We don't need a ring compressor, do we? Okay. 4 washers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 nuts. I have a hard time getting the nuts in the back of these. I'm just going to flip this around. I use needle nose pliers, and do this. If you guys are working on these and you're having a hard time, just grab your pliers and kind of sit it on there. They have a nice taper to them, actually, so you can get it started. See that? Okay. I'm going to pause you here and cinch these down. Just in the nature of saving time. Okay, I got those cinched down. Just putting the spark plug in. I like to feel the compression, and this is the wrong spark plug. Hold on. Okay, right spark plug. I like to see what's going on before I get too carried away. Okay, we got all kinds of compression. I'm happy. If she moves freely, we're good. Okay, so there is essentially our top and bottom end mated together. Four nuts, washers, and we're good. So we got to put the handle on, reed cage, carburetor, fuel line. I put the starter dogs back on. I took those off when I timed it, and we're making headway here. One note: these covers tend to rattle the screws loose. This screw rubbed. Oh, I don't have the clutch cover here. The screw actually rubbed a big groove in the clutch cover that was on this saw. So, beware if you're working on one of these. Make sure these screws are tight on this cover. Okay, we're back. Just had to sort some stuff, go through parts, and just kind of lay everything out. Put this down here. We got our handle assembly. This slides over the cylinder. Right here. Let's try that again. These are kind of hard to do because of the, not hard, different. Well, we'll call it different. These are different because of the copper fuel lines, which I think are just super cool. I mean, just gonna pull this grommet out here. I'll put that in later. Okay, this slides over. Just gonna drop you right down here so you guys can see something. This slides over, and we're gonna put, there we go, and line up that bottom oil line into the oil pump. There we go. Okay. Let's get a screw. There's these 4 screws here, and then there's an extra long one, which I just had a second ago. Does it feel like it's late at night? Because it's not. I have no excuse. There we go. Okay, this goes in the bottom. Let's try this again. I don't want to distort these lines because they can be very hard. Okay, this screw here goes in the bottom. I'll show you guys once I get it in. It goes there. Yeah, if you distort these lines, if you distort these oil lines, they're a little tricky to reshape, so be aware of that. If you distort them, you're going to have a rough time trying to get them back together. Okay, I'm just going to put that in loose. I want to get this oil line started. I don't know if you guys can see that. It comes down and around here and into the bottom of the oil pump. Super hard to get my fingers in there. So let me get it started. And welcome to my arm. How's it going, guys? Okay. Just having fun with you. There you go. So we'll get this started. This one goes into there. There you go. It has a ferrule on it. Okay. Fuel line goes through this hole here. There we go. Okay, it looks like we've bent that line just a smidge. I'm going to push it up. That's what's going on here. It's fitting. There you go. You guys get the idea. 4 bolts on the top. And tie this in. I'm just going to fight with this fuel line. Okay, we're back. Fighting with these oil lines. They're old and they're brittle, and there you go. Just try not to distort them. These things here, guys, right here, right there. Okay. Okay, we had a little technical difficulty there with our camera. Just tightening these lines up. These lines are the death of me on these. I have a hard time lining them up. Just want to get them started. Now we have 4 bolts here. This is what holds the handle assembly on. I'm going to Loctite these because I don't plan on taking this apart. And I noticed with these saws, lots of stuff tends to be loose on them. So little removable Loctite should go a long way on this saw. Nothing's worse than having stuff falling off when you're running it. I want the end user of this to love this saw, so because you can't keep them all, can you guys? Okay, so there's your 4 bolts, one on the bottom. I don't want to bore you with detail after detail, but I'll keep going here. Okay, I'm just putting the coil on, just tightening down the bolts. Got my business card in there in between the coil and the flywheel. Just tightening this. I think this is called an igniter. I can't remember. There we go. Business card over there. Make sure it's not going to rub. There we go. Put the wire on here. Okay. We're getting there, folks. This is exciting. Okay, just like I showed you guys in the last one, let's see if I can get her in one try. Okay, you take your boot, push your wire through it till you see the end of the wire. Try and grab the wire with your pliers. Pull the wire through the boot. There you go. There we go. Okay. See the little hook on there? You want to hook that into the plug wire. Okay, just like that. Hook it in the plug wire. Now pull, without pulling that end off, pull your boot back over. Okay. There you go. Now I usually reach my pliers in there and I'll just, there you go, done. Okay. Just like that. You don't have to take the end off. I just forget to do it every time. Maybe by the 17th build we do on here, I'll get it right. I forget that every time, and every time by the time I remember, I'm already too far. Okay, we got a handle. We're going to run this with the same 76 recoil again. We will rebuild the 130 recoil when we get this thing running. I'm just going to put a couple of random bolts in here. One here and one there. Get this thing going. Maybe I grabbed the wrong bolts here. Oh, these are fine thread. Okay, I got you here. Sorry, I thought I grabbed two fine thread bolts. There you go. Okay, put these on here. Okay, now we'll do the muffler. I'm just doing this in no particular order. I'm going to say one thing. You make sure you Loctite these bolts here. They are always loose. It is rare that I get an old Homelite that the muffler bolts aren't ready to fall off. And of course, if these fall off, you know where they're going. That's right, into the engine. So be aware of that. If you buy an old Homelite, when you do a cylinder inspection, or if you're going to do it, check these bolts out. Because more often than not, they're loose. And it would be a real shame if you suck the bolt into your minty, your otherwise minty Homelite that you just got. So. Okay, we're going places here. We're making it happen. I'm starting to get a good feel. It's nice to build saws back to back, like the same saw. You guys know what I'm saying? You start to get a feel for them, how they go together, what parts go where, and you can definitely make better time. Not that I'm ever in a rush, which I'm really not, but it's nice to just work on the same saw again and again. And get a feel for them, like 272s, 266s and that. I did a lot of those earlier on in my channel, and I'll probably do more again. Those are probably my favorite saw to work on. But yeah, these are fun. They're not hard to work on, little different. The oil lines is what messes me up, and the fact that every time I put the rear handle on, I always end up forgetting to put the coil on. So, okay, let's snug these down. I prefer to not glue these intake blocks down. The reeds are under here. Here's what we're doing today, guys. We are getting this thing running with stock reeds and a stock carb, just like the last one. We're going right back to where we were. 40 hours later, we're right back to where we were with the last one, okay? I'm probably going to modify the reeds, but I would prefer to see how this thing runs with stock reeds. Because let's be honest, the only way we're going to know what this saw is going to do is to try things, right? I don't know anybody that's done one of these. I don't know anybody that I can call, which makes this more fun. We all get to learn on the channel together. I believe this is the right carburetor. We shall find out if it is. I'm 98% sure this is the carb I want. Excuse me. So okay, it takes 2 minutes to swap carbs without the funky 266 air cleaner setup like on the last saw. So no biggie. Just got to get this linkage in there. There we go. Come on. There we go. Okay. Get these started. There we go. It can be a little tricky to get these carb nuts in here. Sorry you guys can't see. Just give me a second here. Just get them started at least. And then I will go grab a ratchet wrench. Knock this thing down. What do we got here? 5/16. Okay, here we go. Just gonna snug these down. Okay, we got the carb mounted choke, air filter stud. Here's the air filter. Top cover. Look at this, 130 Super. We're making things happen. Okay, just gotta mount the handle. Here we go, guys. Look at that. Here we go, second hot rod Homelite. What do you guys think? Just like that, bing bang boom. Cool. I'm gonna take this outside and fire her up. See you guys in a second.